hear your voice.
Indubitably.
Yeah.
So thank you for calling me this morning and forgive my telephone manners.
Oh, no.
I had received the automated call yesterday. I thought they were just calling me again to tell me not to forget my payments.
No, sorry.
It's okay.
So tell me what they did.
I'll tell you in a minute. I want to make sure I don't forget something.
Sure.
So I read a book 20 years ago called The Tipping Point. You may have heard of it.
No.
And it talks about how a business reaches a certain place and then it just goes great, you know? And they said that the worst thing that can happen is for somebody to go up after a bad meal and pay their bill and they say, how was it? Oh, it was fine. And then they never return. I hope to never return here for health reasons, but I do think you should have some observation. This Ann was very, very abrupt, almost rude with me this morning. And I'm sure she's incredibly efficient. But, you know, I was sitting in the thing, she called my name twice, like, and I got in here, she goes, to the scales. Well, I don't know where the scales is, and I didn't understand her. I thought this is a German immigrant. She's just to the scale. And I got in here, she started asking me if I ever had COVID, and I said, I spent 70 days in bed, so it was positive. No, I just needed to give up a quarter of my year. You know, so anyway, I'm just telling you, other people will not tell you that.
Yeah.
I don't like spending time going to doctor's offices. I've spent more time in the doctor's offices in the last 4 months than I have my entire life. Yeah. And I don't plan to come and see you again. But most people won't tell you what I told you. So I'm saying that to you because you've been one of the most pleasant specialists I've visited through this ordeal. So now, what did they do? They went in with a laser. The procedure was total 20 minutes. I had to execute all the documents to authorize that to save my life. They could put in, reinstate a tracheostomy to keep me breathe. 20 minutes they came and told her, he's fine. I could breathe. It was unbelievable. They just went in and removed that scar tissue. And I still have a little bit of residual, I don't want to say nodule, but I don't know what else to say. Little, like 3 little bumps of cottage cheese when I went back from my post-op, second post-op, and they ran that video in. And she said that that will slowly dissipate. And I start voice therapy next week. And I feel like my 4-octave range in singing went from this range to this range. So I'm much more deep and resonant. I haven't reached those highs yet. And when she had me do that with the video in there, my vocal cords just fluttered. But my sister said that those are muscles that atrophy like everything else and it will come back with therapy. So I'm very encouraged.
Can I ask the outside observer or the inside observer, do you notice a big difference as far as like voice voice pitch and all that?
Yes.
Okay.
Like first thing in the morning, he kind of sounds a little gruff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that will go away completely after he has the voice therapy.
Yeah.
But huge difference
Right.
once he had that surgery, because she told him he was basically breathing out of like a cocktail straw. And so now that it's open, I mean, all his home therapy people were like, this is a new person. Well, when you can breathe, that makes all the difference in the world.
Was it right at the level of the vocal cords?
It was at the top of the vocal cord. As I understand, I'm not a physician, but
yeah.
So the vocal cords are supposed to go like this when you inhale. Well, mine were almost completely immobilized because of that scar tissue.
Yeah.
So in my pre-op, I sang the opening line to the Lord's Prayer, and she says, your vocal cords are not paralyzed, or you could have never done that. So she removed the scar tissue, and then when she went in later, she says, oh my, I didn't expect that. Your left one is now moving also, and it was immobilized before. So when she moved the scar tissues into therapy, not therapy, but the fact that I was able to breathe, the other one reactivated and started moving, and so both are moving properly now.
I love it.
Yeah.
I know you do. Were you always a bass when you sing? Or?
Well, when I say 4 octaves, are you a musician? Do you?
I'm not.
Okay, so 4 octaves are, like I could sing, so if you take middle C on the piano, I could sing almost an octave and a half below that, and then my head tones would go up 2.5 octaves above that.
So that means good range, right?
Real incredible range, like Bocelli range. I did always have resonance, but I have deeper resonance now than I did before. But you hear just a tiny bit of rasp in my voice, and you know, I could clear my throat and do some things, and it would. But if I speak a lot or sing or whatever the day before, then the next day, I'm still weak in that area.
Okay.
But it's coming back, and yes. So long answer your question. I always had deep resonance, but now it rests a little bit lower than it had been before.
And you said breathing's back to normal. Is it completely back to normal? Okay. So
I recreationally take deep breaths because I can.
Wow.
I mean, before, remember I had a stridor?
Yeah.
And so it would take me like 2 or 3 seconds to fill my lungs
Yeah.
because I was breathing through that tiny orifice.
Yeah, I remember hearing you coming in.
Yeah, you said you could hear me in the hallway.
Yeah, I wonder who this is. Like, yeah, wow. Wow, that's a miracle.
Yes, thank you, thank you. A man from Nigeria that started praying for us said, your healthcare professionals will be astounded, and you just were another fulfillment. Because the ENT said, you are a miracle.
That's
You
great.
said it, unsolicited. So I'm curious, I went over here to the hospital, to the lab 3 weeks or so ago and did the lung function. And I was watching it on the computer inside the little glass phone booth. And I feel like I did everything he asked me to do. Did you happen to look at that?
I did. I'll have to remind myself, but yeah. They all come back to me. It's just that they don't stick out in my mind, sir. So
Oh yeah, I know. I expect you to remember me.
I definitely do, but just not that.
I meant
Oops. Any big plans for the summer?
well, our 44th wedding anniversary is coming up. We're gonna take a trip and go somewhere. We're not certain yet, but
Yeah.
we recreationally deliver recreational vehicles, so we just look and see where they have them going and then say, well, why don't we go there? That'll be fun. So, and I'm leaving today to go to Tulsa.
That's fun. Normal, everything normal, first of all. So, with lung physiology, we concentrate on your exhalation mainly, because every part of inhalation is, the airways are open, and it's mainly an exhalation test. So your lung capacity when you inhale, you're able to get the normal lung capacity of someone your age. In fact, you were at 91 percentile,
Okay.
which is perfect.
So that's perfect at my age. Is it perfect after having COVID, or the perfect just for any old guy, or what?
Any old guy.
Okay.
If I did 90, I'd be very happy.
All right.
And then how much you can exhale in 1 second, that's a true test of your lung function. And you were in the 98 percentile.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's,
So remember when I showed you that, or had you look at the CT scan when I went to the ER before I had my voice repaired?
yeah.
And it showed that in the very bottom of the lungs was a little bit of gray, and you said, I'll get that back. Does that say that I got it back?
Basically, yeah.
Because they told me when I first went in for COVID, is it alveoli, the little air sacs?
Yeah, the alveoli, yes.
Oh boy, pretty good. They said those are, COVID shrivels them like grapes that were left on the counter, and when they shrivel, the grape never comes back with elasticity, but that test says that came back, right?
Yeah, for the most part. There's only one part that's abnormal, and that's sort of a function of what you're talking about. Some of the alveoli have kind of been scarred down. And that's how well oxygen gets from the environment into your lungs, and
Yes.
yours is mildly reduced, mildly.
But she just told me my oxygen was 95, so that's not
It
too bad,
is.
right?
So God, absolutely,
So God, what?
God gave us 10 times the lung function that we need on a daily basis. So we have 10 times the reserve when we walk around.
Okay,
So you can sacrifice that and still live a normal,
Good.
even active life.
good. Good.
Yeah, everything else is good. Even the part, this little tracing that I look at to see if there's still a lot of scar there that's preventing the air from going in and out, it doesn't really show it on that tracing.
Okay, good.
Good.
So it's all kind of,
Wow.
it's all kind of great.
Well, Doctor, you've brightened my day, and that's why when you called me this morning, I still wanted to come. I wanted to hear you confirm that I'm okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel fabulous.
I love that. I never hear that, so that's so good. And I didn't do anything, so I'm happy.
I have a question. Our regular medical doctor said that we should both get pneumonia shots.
Yeah.
With what he's gone through, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
And it's because of the age that we are. You get one and then you wait like a year and a half or two and get the second one and then you're done.
Yes.
Is that
That's
what
true.
you suggest
Yes.
as well? Okay.
I think it's a good idea going forward.
All right.
Good. Now, the other question I have is, the ENT asked me if I was still taking Flovent once a day, and I just broke a glass, so I have 58 days left of that. This is Advair. And I've been taking 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening of this. And we went to Kansas City Memorial Day weekend. And even though I had it with me, I forgot about it. I didn't notice one bit of difference.
Yeah.
Do I need to take this stuff?
No, you don't. And
You have a trash can.
yeah, can't get rid of that dust. No, even
Right.
with the lung function test, you have nothing to explain the need for that, unless you had some asthma or something in your lifetime. But there's nothing on the lung function test to explain the need for that. It is-
So it's wise to keep it in case there's ever an issue. I was joking, but I'm going to stop taking it as of now because I didn't notice one bit of difference when I forgot to take it.
Yeah, okay.
And then I have another one called albuterol that is an emergency.
Mhm.
It's laying on the nightstand because when I was coming to see you, I would take that because I needed every molecule of oxygen I could ingest. But you know, Doc, I feel normal.
Yeah, no, that's great. That just further confirms that that was the problem and it's gone and you don't need anything.
Yeah,
There's no other
I got some
problem.
hypertension, and they gave me more amlodipine the other day. It makes my ankles swell. And,
That's
you know, I don't like that byproduct. But anyway, for the most part, I've always felt very healthy for my age, and I feel back. I'm back to where I was. So
That's beautiful. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if she left me a note, the ENT doctor.
well, she basically discharged me over there just before Memorial Day, and she looked at me and said, well, you know, ran that tube down my throat and took pictures and stuff, and she says, you're a miracle. This is just, you know, to have gone through what I've gone through this rapidly, walking without a, remember she pushed me in a wheelchair the last time I was here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. And then remember they were gonna, the alternative to this was to take out your vocal cord, right?
Mm,
Yes.
yeah. Or put the trach in,
Or put the
or
trach, yeah.
Botox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just adore that lady in Indianapolis. She says, oh no, I think I can fix this. I had tears in my eyes. just
No, I know, considering what happened otherwise,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't have been this guy walking in. like
No.
this.
No. I basically agreed to be a somewhat invalid the rest of my life by a procedure. And in 20 minutes, she had me fixed.
You might even get you singing back to yourself. Right?
Well, I could sing now, but I
Yeah.
can't reach that high range. And if you listen to any music, the $1 million shot is when somebody can go up and exhilarate your emotions
Yeah.
by engaging all of your senses when they hit that. You watch American Idol, watch American Got Talent, any of that, that's when it happens. Well, I've always had that since I was a little bitty boy,
Yeah.
and I intend to recover that. So,
Wonderful.
yeah, doctor, I can't tell you, you've validated what I already suspected. Thank you so much.
I'm glad. I feel like I did nothing but, you know, with at least the lung function test, and yeah.
You did do something, so you probably get yelled at a lot, and people expect you to be God. I'll tell you something, you engaged with me emotionally the last time I was here, and I will never forget it.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you.
I'll tell Kathy, we won't schedule another appointment unless you need it, and man,
Yeah, unless, I mean, I'll come back and visit with you. What kind of Starbucks you want to bring in coffee? Have you seen me out and about? Please tell hello.
For sure, for sure.
I'm so profoundly grateful, that's all I can say.
Thank you.
Yes, already.
Great day to
Thank
you
you.
folks. Enjoy your trip when you take.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm
Thank
gonna
you
go
so
see
much.
my sister. My mother's gonna be the first Father's Day without Daddy because he died of COVID.
I remember you
So-
saying
So I'm leaving here, and motorhome's already over at Fresh Market, ready to go, and I'm out of here.
that. Enjoy it.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can show you out too.
Okay.
All right, great.